Hello, my name is Fiona Cowledge, and I'm a student here at Leicester Middle School. I'm here today with the cast and crew of the new Star Wars fan film, Academy of the Force. Why don't we start by having everyone introduce themselves?
Hello, my name is Rob Kemp. I'm a senior at Leicester High School and have been involved with the project since the beginning as the production manager.
I'm Devin Buckwich. I'm a sophomore at Leicester High School, and I've been involved for the whole thing as the editor.
James DePace. I am the founder or creator and assistant creator of the movie.
I am Christy Minton. I'm the school librarian here at Leicester Middle School, and Mr. DePace and I kind of produced this thing as we went.
I'm Jaden Smith, and I am a student here at Leicester Middle School.
And actor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this first question is for Mr. DePace and Mrs. Minton. How did you get the idea to make this movie?
Well, Mr. DePace approached me about this back in, I think, November. It started off as a small project. Do you want to talk more about it?
Sure. So I originally was running a fundraiser for the Star Wars movie, and they asked if I wanted a small video that I could play at the beginning of the movie. And I said, you know what? That would be a cool idea. So I asked Miss Minton if you wanted to be part of it, and so we started writing a script. And the script kind of blew up into this 40-minute long movie. And so I contacted the local cable company, and they offered to let us borrow some cameras and some good stuff to make it. So that's kind of how it came about.
We actually spent a couple months just on the script itself before we got anybody else involved.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many people ask, how did you get everyone to participate in this movie?
Well, as she said, I asked her originally, and then after I got the local cable company involved, I went there to go get the camera, and Mr. Rob Kemp happened to be there starting to do some work, right? And you expressed some interest in Star Wars and what we were doing, and so without even questioning or thinking about it, I said, hey, do you want to be part of it?
And my answer was obviously yes, because I'm here today, but I was so excited for taking this on. It was amazing.
And I knew I needed an actor, so I thought of someone who could happen to be on the drama club, perhaps, and maybe that likes Star Wars. And Jada wears Star Wars Crocs, and I love Crocs, so I said, I'm asking Jada. So she said that she's in. Jada, and then what is going on here? You seem to be the only normal one. What's happening?
What do you mean what's happening? Didn't you hear it this morning?
What do you mean? And then Devin came along because I needed somebody to film drone footage of the school for the movie. So I randomly asked a question in the middle of the day and said, hey, is there anybody in my class, her sister was in, said,
Her?
Sorry, his sister, Ava, was in the class, and I said, does anybody have a drone or know anyone who has a drone? She goes, my brother does, and he likes movies too. I said, okay, so I'll email him. So I emailed him, and he wrote me back and said, yeah, I'll come down. I know how to work some editing stuff too. I had no idea how much stuff he knew, but, well, he knows some stuff.
Yes, he does.
A lot.
So everything worked out the way it was supposed to. Everything was meant to be exactly the way it is, and
I'd like to add to that too. So early on, we knew we wanted this to be a school production, and we wanted as many students as we could get involved to participate.
do you want to go work on props for the movie within Miss Dusty's room?
Sure, I can. And so we formed additional clubs to help us with various aspects of the movie. We had an art production team, and we had a costume crew and a makeup crew. We had some people helping us with film and sound and lighting. I'm trying to think what else.
Robotics?
Oh, yes, and
We took a couple of our clubs that were already in existence and combined them. The art club and the droid club, or robotics club, forming the droid club. So the droids that you see in the movie were made by these two clubs, combining forces.
yes.
So you say, so to speak.
And then, of course, we have tons of student extras, as you'll see in the film, and we had a large majority of our staff participate too.
Yes.
So even our administration.
The administration was impressed with your energy and enthusiasm to embrace the dark side. Today, we demand and expect our order and efficiency.
Okay, and Devin, what was your reaction when you found out about the movie?
I've never been a Star Wars fan, but it was like yeah, I mean, I love movies, and I'd never worked on anything large scale before, only like small independent stuff and family movies, so I was wicked excited to be working on something larger than just myself.
Okay, Jaden. When you were asked by Mr. DePace to be in the movie, what was your reaction, and did you think it was going to be this big?
At first, I was like excited that like he thought of me and like that I was gonna be in it, and I knew that it was gonna be like pretty like big thing because I don't know, Star Wars is big, but I didn't think it would be this big.
And Jada showed a lot of her dedication because her character in the film always has her hair braided. So we want to thank Jada's mom for always braiding her hair so she could have that consistency, but she was very dedicated throughout the whole thing.
Hi, I'm Jada, and I'm antisocial.
This question is for Rob. When Mr. DePace asked you about being part of the movie, what was your response?
Well, when Mr. DePace approached me, I was just getting involved with Leicester Cable Access, and it was just literally perfect timing, dream-like timing, where he just came along and said, I'm doing a Star Wars movie at the middle school, do you want to be involved? And I just was so excited and so perfectly timed to be getting involved in this project, and it was one of the best things that's happened to me in a while.
Now, why don't we go down the line and everyone tells us what your favorite part of the whole movie making process? Why don't we start with you, Rob?
Okay. So towards the end of the film, Mr. DePace and Miss Minton have a battle with some lightsabers, and there's a huge crowd of kids, and I remember me and Devin just trying to get over the kids to get this shot, and Miss Minton and Mr. DePace are going back and forth, and the lightsaber sticks would be breaking off. We'd have to stop to put new sticks on to get the effects and everything, and it was a cool time with like one of the climactic points in the movie, so that was definitely one of my favorite scenes to film.
Towards the beginning, we were gonna do like a floating effect. Miss Friedel was gonna float something using the Force, and I had never floated anything in post before, like in editing. And Mr. DePace asked me, he's like, can you, can we do this? And I was like, yeah, I mean, we could try this and that, and I guess I could try it. And I hadn't really thought about whether or not it was gonna work. So when I got home and it actually worked, I was very happy.
And action.
As you all know, a Jedi's main source of defense is a lightsaber. However, there's something more powerful.
So let me say, you must have learned so much by doing this.
Oh, I learned a ton.
Yeah.
It was absolutely a learning experience.
Yeah.
But you never came off as being
No.
we always thought you knew what you were doing.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Well, I didn't want to sound confused.
My favorite thing actually is the whole thing. I can't say that I've ever produced a movie or acted or anything. So what a unique experience. I can say being an actor is way different than what you think. Would you agree?
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Mitchell.
Oh, hey, Mr. Pace. Hey, Dwicky.
How was your flight in today?
Not so great.
I heard the weather. Stop.
We're getting lots of good critique and feedback from our friends here.
Almost too much.
Like, it's not like memorizing lines. Like, it's different. One of the more favorite parts to me, I guess, because I like to be a controlling person, is directing people, like suggesting what they should do.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the office scene. This is where Mr. Fontaine, or AKA Darth Fontaine, talks in the scene where Doinky is listening. All right? Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set.
My overall, general feeling about the film is just appreciation for all of the people who participated and their willingness to quickly get changed or stay after school late, or even just the talented people that are here today, and then all the other students and staff who helped us out along the way. That was really cool to see everybody come together, and we felt like they were doing us a favor, but I think everybody kind of got behind the project as we went on and saw how big it was getting. So that was really neat. As far as the filming goes, my favorite film day was during February vacation. We opened up the school, we had some students come in, and we had some staff members come in, and Mr. Soha is in the movie, and he did a fantastic job in one of the scenes, which I know you guys will love. And then also we had 2 other teachers come in and do some work in front of the green screen. They acted out a soap opera, which I'm going to be watching a little piece of in the film, so you'll be able to check that out. Either in the bloopers or in this or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll maybe put it in right now.
Yeah, so you'll get to see them in action. They did such a great job.
You know what? Why don't we just stop right here? We're going to take a minute and we're going to watch it.
Okay.
You have to go. You can't be here. Why, if Daddy ever found out, he'd send me back to Flora.
Fiona, I can't live without you.
You're making this harder than it has to be.
Then tell me to go. Tell me to leave. Tell me to never come back, and I'll take my starship to a galaxy far, far away.
Why does it have to be this hard? Just because we look different doesn't mean we can't be together. Why can't he understand?
Come away with me. Come away with me. This frozen tundra, this ocean, this desert cannot keep us apart.
Rylick, wherever you go, forever I'll be.
My favorite part was probably when I got to use the Force and push you and Abby against the lockers. That was fun.
That was cool.
And how long did it take you to make this movie from beginning to end?
Well, as I said when I first approached you, that was November.
Yep, I remember we had our deadline. We had a deadline. We wanted to be done with the script by like mid-December.
So we wrote the script for I think a month and a half, 2 months, and then we were planning to film January and February, and then edit March and April. Well, that didn't really happen. It didn't go according to plan. It wasn't as easy to get everybody together and make sure it happened. So it went from November to yesterday.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then today to film.
Yeah, scheduling definitely was really what made the project last a lot longer.
And Devin, I understand that you did all the editing and special effects. How much work was this for you, and did you know what you were getting yourself into when you started?
No, I had no idea. The only lightsaber effect I had done prior was like a 5-second clip of myself wielding a stick, and that was pretty easy. And I was pretty proud
impressed.
of that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then he showed it to me. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they're gonna
right when I
make
saw it, I was
lightsabers
like, look what Devin can do. He can make a lightsaber. And it was amazing. And
Yeah, I got so much good feedback, and I was like, yeah, I can do everything. But yeah, it took way longer than I was expecting, but I don't regret any of it because it was, like I said before, a great learning experience.
Yeah.
And another question for you. How do you make those special effects like a lightsaber?
How? Well, lightsabers are actually relatively simple, I suppose. I mean, it's just, if you can imagine in Adobe Premiere, you slap a little beam of light that you can keyframe or move like stop motion. So for every 5 or 4 frames or whatever, I just move it a little bit and then go another 3 to 4 to 5 frames, and then I move it a little bit more.
Emily, are there any plans for a sequel or another movie?
So, is there going to be a sequel? Yes, 100%. We're in. We are making this movie every year. The goal is to make a new movie for Leicester Middle School. And what is it going to be next year? Well,
we have a couple of ideas in the works.
and we got this guy for 2 more years, so
Yeah.
we're pushing him to his limit. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you all very much.
That's a wrap!